There you are. Welcome to another live stream. Episode 10, to be precise. So, I missed last week. So I'm thinking to make up for that, let's do something fun. All right? Let's do something really cool. I don't have anything planned specifically, so let's come up with a game plan and animate something that's challenging, fun, exciting, engaging, all the above. Let's do something cool. I'm going to throw it out there that I just watched Into the Spideyverse or Spider-Verse? Into the Spider-Verse with my son last night. The night before. He'd never seen it. I'd seen it before. Like everybody else, loved the movie. So I'm feeling my spidey senses tingling that I want to do something cool like that. So if you guys are interested and have any suggestions about doing a Spider-Man Miles Morales themed kind of animation, let's try it. I've never done anything Spider-Man oriented. I actually did do some promotional videos for the release of Spider-Man Homecoming. Was it Homecoming? Yeah. I didn't get to like animate Spider-Man or anything like that, but I got to work on basically just the launch of the DVD? I can't remember. It was something to do with that movie, and although it was cool to be a part of it, it was like it wasn't character animation. It wasn't anything to be like, hey, look, let me put it on my demo reel or like promote this on my personal channels or anything. But it was cool to be a part of that. And but yeah, I'm feeling that Spider-Man universe theme. I know there's a second one out. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's as good as the first one, but yeah. Do you guys have any like Spider-Man suggestions? Or even we don't have to do Spider-Man. Like that's when I think of doing something fun, it usually involves some kind of like acrobatic energy, running, fighting, jumping. But I'm really open to anything. If you guys jump in here and start to say things like, well, maybe he could skateboard. Maybe he could be floating in space. And I've got a new character. It's not a new character. I used him last time, 2 weeks ago. I think that'll be the character that I kind of start with, and we'll just keep using him. So when you guys jump in here, when I start to see more than one person, maybe we'll work on something. But right now, it's just me and maybe one other person. I can't tell. So whoever you are, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. But I'm looking forward to it. You know, when you see a movie, you watch something that's really inspiring and it gets you excited. I think that's what Spider-Man was for me. That film was just so remarkable. It really was. Like the comedy, the storytelling, the way that they made it feel heartfelt. Into the Spider-Verse was just such a phenomenal film. And I think when you break down what Into the Spideyverse was, like, it should be in a category of film, right? You can't say it's a cartoon or an animation. Like, the way that they were telling a story, animation might have been the medium that they used, but it was so thoughtful and just so every detail about it was phenomenal. I love that movie. So great. Anyway, so yeah, that's the first thing my mind went to was when I got in here this morning. If we did something fun, my idea would be something revolving around like Spider-Man, because those kind of animations are always so much fun to do. Just having a character kind of like bounce around, and you suspend reality when gravity doesn't really apply to that person. I mean, it does, but the limitations are a lot less than reality. So I don't really know. Maybe I'll just get started. This happens every week when I jump in here and I ramble. And not enough people jump in early enough. And I'm left kind of just floundering. Don't know. Here we go. Any animation would be great. Maybe jumping. What does it say? To jump into a hole or something. Okay. Well, thanks, Ray. Is it Ray? Ria? Yeah, I think that would be great. Ray? No, Ria. Yeah. That's a tough one. I'm sure if, oh yeah, okay. Sorry if I like butchered that name. Yeah, let's see here. We got maybe jumping into a hole. I like that. Okay. So we can have our character and I would love to keep it simple. Like, I like that idea of just doing something very simple because I don't want to take up too much of anyone's time in here. I don't want to take up too much of my time because I kind of have a short window, right? I can work until about lunch, and then I'm like, I gotta take a break, you know. So, let's see. Why don't we just open up the character? Let's get that guy up and running. And I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, so we're going to take this guy. This is the character we're going to work with. And this is actually a character that I've designed for a story that I've written. I wrote it a long time ago, and I've been working on it for a very long time. But that story is like starting to come together and wrap up. And I'm actually in the storyboard phase of wrapping the storyboard up, and I've started a little bit of the animation. So I'm really excited to potentially get the ball rolling on this story because, one, it's too big to kind of explain in like a simple pitch. I could simply pitch it, but I don't know. I always feel like there's so much backstory that I have to like work through that a pilot would be the best way to do that. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. this here is the character that we will be using. I need to hide some of these bones. So we have, let's have him doing some kind of action where he goes into a hole. What we could do is we could either have him jump into a hole, or we could have him fall into a hole. Let's have him jump. I feel like I do a lot of animation where the characters, something ends up happening to them. I think I'd like to have a character that actually does something on his own will. And I think that having a character do something like what Spider-Man or Miles Morales would do, I think having him purposefully jump into a hole or something thereof would be really cool. So anyone who's just now joining, I watched Spider-Man with my son over the weekend, and it got me inspired. The movie's just so amazing. I absolutely love Into the Spideyverse. And is it Spideyverse or Spider-Verse? I can't remember. Into the Spider-Verse. Spideyverse? Anyway, you don't have to answer that. So I wanted to do something fun and action-packed and energetic, and doing something along those lines I think would be really cool. So that's where we're leaning. We got one great suggestion, maybe jumping into a hole or something. So I wonder if maybe, do we start with our character on frame and then we have them jump into something, or do we start with them off frame, have them land into the scene, and then jump out? I kind of feel like it. Well, it's hard because if you were going to post this somewhere, people aren't going to want to start off with a blank frame. I mean, I guess it's fine to do that, but you kind of want to see the main character and what they're doing, or follow along at least. So maybe we have our main character. So what do we do? Let's kind of think up. While we're thinking, I'm just going to put him in a pose. Just while we're thinking. I'm going to kind of pose him out in like a karate kind of karate pose. Wow. So we got the hood that turns that way, but doesn't turn that way. Oh man, I gotta fix that. That happened last time too, didn't it? I keep forgetting about that. So why don't I go in there and fix that? So that's body turn. It's a body turn or body turn 2. Okay, that one works. So it's body turn 2. This hood is going the wrong way. Actually, why is it moving at all? Why are you moving at all? What are you connected to that would make you move? Oh man, I hate problem solving in a program that I am not great at. And these are one of those things where It's probably so simple, and I'm not even thinking about it. So if there's no keyframes, why would that be moving? Interesting. So it turns that way. And then if I do the other way, it turns that way. I feel like it would get funky if I just counter animated it. Yeah, it would definitely get funky. Or maybe not. No, yeah, that's not right. Oh. Wait, do I have bones on that? All right, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. That's just going to waste your time and mine. I'll have to fix that later, which is what I said last time we did use this guy. I promise, I'll fix it later. All right. I'm just going to keep posing him out. Let's put this guy in like a cool karate pose. He is Mr. Karate. Oops. All right, this foot will come back. Or maybe, no, this foot will come here under him. And this one will move forward. This knee would come in. There we go. So I'm still waiting on some more hypothetical suggestions. What could this guy be doing? We want to keep it in that kind of action, Spider-Man kind of feel. So what could he do to give him a kind of Spider-Man-y feel? We got jump into a hole. Obviously, Spider-Man swings around, right? He's got that web. We could do the web. I don't know if I want to, because I'd be having to figure out, you know, animating those shapes and all that stuff, and you know, potentially masking some stuff out. So what are we going to do? What do we do? Do I have a hand that would look good? Not really. All right, so we got him in this kind of action pose. He's ready to spring into action. Anyway, this was just to kind of pass the time. I still don't have any suggestions from you guys. That's okay. Maybe I just start doing stuff. Maybe we'll run with the jump and the whole thing. So I need to come up with what he's going to do. What is he going to do? I'm drawing a blank. This is why I didn't work on the Spider-Man movie. I'm drawing a blank. Well, let's have him. Let's have him. Maybe we'll have him jump in the air. We did a jump 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Should we do another jump? No, I'm backtracking. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I can. Let's stick with the Spider-Man theme. And let's have him. Let's have him what? What's he going to do? So why would he jump into a hole? I mean, that's the big question. So we just have to come up with a scenario to make him need to go into a hole. Need to go into a hole. Why would he do that? We could have him. Maybe it could be like a sewer lid. Maybe he jumps next to the sewer lid with kind of like a kung fu stance. And then he looks. No, I always have my characters look. I don't want them to be like looking around anymore. I just want them to just do some stuff. I'm realizing, and I can see these patterns that I'm constantly in because I'm doing these live streams every week. Characters are always like doing this and then doing their thing. Why am I doing that? Why do I do that? I just want him to straight action. Just get into it. So, all right. I'm just going to start animating, and then you guys can suggest as we go along. Maybe once you see me doing something, then you'll get those juices flowing. Maybe once I see myself doing something, it'll get those juices flowing. So let's start loosening up. Let's go. I will have this character. Is this character going to be off frame? You know what? This is what I need. Triple D. I need a background in here. That's the big problem. So oh no. Did I just close it? Don't. I just said close all. All right. Let's import some backgrounds. Let me find my background. Where would that one be? Oh, it's got to be episodes, pilot, background. Here we go. So I'll let's just import all this stuff. I'm going to have my character on something. And I'm going to put him on this park bench. And he'll be standing on the park bench, and then he can jump off of it. Or maybe he jumps onto the park bench. I don't know. This feels like such deja vu from the last time I did this. Him jumping over the puddle. I don't know if you guys were there for that. But last week, I had this guy jumping over a puddle. Or a pond, excuse me. And I really don't want to repeat what I did last week. So let's go ahead and put this to, what was it, add? Yeah, that looks good. Change the opacity to like 50. Get those nice light rays. Okay, so I feel like, I don't know, let's see what we can do in this environment. Maybe that'll help us come up with an idea, a game plan. What can he do in this environment that would be cool? He could jump into this trash can. That could be cool. So maybe instead of going into a hole, he jumps into a trash can. I like that. Maybe he slides down this pole, whoosh, jumps onto the park bench, and then he jumps from the park bench into the trash can. What do you guys think? Anyone like it? No? Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to do. So unless someone says anything else or otherwise, that's what we will do. What's going on here? Well, let's just get started. What's that one? Midground? No, that's the background. That sky? That's weird. All right, let's see if we can even do it, actually, because we are going to need to manipulate some of these backgrounds. So I'm going to pull this one into the foreground. I need to turn off my camera. Sorry, not camera. I need to turn off my depth of field. That's what it is. Okay, so foreground comes in, midground. Let's push background back there, and then sky comes way back. Cool. Then I'm going to take the camera. Let's go ahead and find this pole here. I think that'll work. The only problem is we lose that background. It's kind of weird. I feel like, oh, it's because of that. Wait, no, that's not it. Why would that be doing that? Maybe that's what it was. All right, let's have a look. Okay. Let's see if we are separated. Did I lose the depth? No, there's depth there. Maybe not enough depth. All right, let's move this over. Maybe I'll have to rotate the camera a bit. Let's try that. So I'm trying to get this pole closer to the middle. So So let's move this like that. Sure, that'll work. Okay. And then we're going to have our character sliding down from the pole. Okay, so he'll be on this pole here and sliding down. So here's my background. Character slides in from the pole and lands on the park bench. So let's go ahead and move our character into position. Okay. So let's see. We'll put him something like that. All right. Now he's going to need to be a little bit higher. I'm not sure the best way to do like posing of the character. If you should take like the whole composition and move him, or just leave the composition of your character where it's at and move the bones so he's out of position. I don't know. But I got him here and I think it's looking all right. So this arm here will be holding the pole. This one can be maybe up and out a bit for balance. I'll change his facial expression so that he's looking kind of like down and over. All right, let's just get into it. So he's going to slide in and then do a jump onto the bench. So that means that he would slide in and kind of maybe slow down just before he reaches the bench and then hop off. So let's try that, see how it goes. I'm going to hold his pose here for maybe, I don't know, 6 frames. So he's not moving at all. And then I'm going to start sliding him in. I don't really know how long it should take, maybe a second, maybe less. So let's just try that. So I'll slide his body in. His feet will move with him. So that one will stay there. This one is kind of like giving him pressure on the pole. And then this one can be hidden behind the pole. Now that he's here on the pole, I think he's maybe a little too close. So pull him off. This arm can kind of like come up. This one will slide up too. Maybe like that. Maybe in total he'll lean off the pole a little bit. Maybe something like that. Okay. Let's see. So they come sliding in. These will have to be smooth. I'll smooth this one too. So they come sliding in pretty hot. Woo! That might be a little too fast, so let's see. Okay, I can work with that. So now his body is doing some weird stuff because of the dynamics applied to his torso. So maybe what I'll do is I'll turn them off here. Whoops. And I'll do the same thing with his neck. Just because I don't want it like wiggling in the wrong way. And just to give some like changing of his body a bit, we'll pull this down. So his leg will come in and then maybe scrunch into position to slow him down. So we'll smooth this one out. Whoops. Oh, that doesn't look right. Okay, cool. So it extends out and then it slows him down right here. And his body is, we'll say it stretches here. Maybe his neck even stretches. We'll even play around with his head coming up. Maybe his body turns out. And then by the time it slows down, everything will come back and maybe even compress beyond. So then his head will come down, turn toward the pole. Okay. So at this point, arm will come up and out, up. And then by the time it hits here, everything will kind of compress down. All right. Looks pretty good. So we'll need to have a little follow through to where his body, maybe his body keeps coming down, but his legs will stay intact. Oops. Maybe we'll squash just a little bit. This arm will come up. Okay, let's see here. Nice. So I'm going to smooth all these out. So he's basically coming down. He's compressing right here because he's about to jump. So maybe I'll squash him in just a little bit more. Stretch this arm out. Maybe I'll have him turn his head like this to look at where he's going to land. Comes down, and right here quickly he will start to spring up. I want to make sure this arm kind of stays here. There we go. So he's coming down and he's going to start to spring up. And right here we can have him explode into his kind of like, maybe we'll do like a Spider-Man pose, right? He's doing his big leap up into the air and then onto the park bench. His body will turn. Oops. Come on, what is going on here? Body will turn in midair, maybe straighten out a bit. Head will turn. It will come up, turn this way. All right, so his feet are now sliding, not doing anything that I want them to do. So let's come back here. I need to select. I'm just going to grab it all. Okay. So the feet need to lock in here. So the rotation needs to go back to what it was. That works. But it needs to hold. Cool. So we're getting somewhere. We just got to make it a little more believable that he's jumping off this pole. So right now he's sliding down it. And so some of his little, like his leg here, it needs to stay put. All right, let's grab it. Let's grab this foot, lock it in. So the rotation needs to come back to what it was for the whole thing. And then I think maybe we need to paste it here like that. So it goes boom. Maybe we'll start moving here a little quicker. Let's go smooth. Okay. How many frames do I usually use? I think it's set to 29.97. Yeah. That's just what I've always kind of animated in. I've done 24 frames in the past as well. It's like what I've basically, once you become comfortable in a frame rate, that's kind of your go-to. And sometimes your animation can get a little slow or a little fast if you start animating in a different frame rate. So yeah, I typically do 29.97, which I guess is the same as 30. What do you guys like to animate in? What's your preferred frame rate? All right, so I got to lock up this arm because it's moving around a bit. So let's see. I'll probably have to tighten that up later because he's going to move around a lot. Oh, that's better. So it comes in, and then he'll jump. Maybe he doesn't jump high enough because this looks kind of funny, doesn't it? It looks a little funky. Yeah, 30 is more smooth. I have found that animating in 30 frames a second is harder. It's harder because if you have a mistake, hey Vertex, doing good. How are you? If you're struggling with your animation and you're animating at 30 frames a second, all your mistakes, they're going to show really well. If you don't have your timing right and your poses, you can't really hide behind a frame rate. Now, if you're animating at like 12 frames a second, you can have choppy animation and it's hidden because of the low frame rate. And that's what I found to be true. So if you're having trouble with getting your animation to look polished and clean, drop down to 12 frames a second, and I guarantee you your animation is going to look so much better. All right, let's see if we can have him maybe jump a little higher. Or maybe he slides down lower. No, I don't want to do that. I'm slide to here. It's just this pose here looks strange to me. Maybe we can change his foot. Let's see. So if we do this, oops. All right, I'm just gonna let me keep the momentum going with his body, and we'll do that follow through. So he's gonna keep floating here. All right. Maybe we'll start moving some of these things back into center. Okay. Let's move that around. Head can come up maybe. All right. What I'm going to do. Oh, why did I do that? Oh. Let's just do a new window. All right. Let's do Spider-Man pose. Images. I want to get an idea of if Spider-Man was jumping, what would he look like? Oh, he looks like this guy. Look at that Spider-Man. Is that what Spider-Man would look like? I don't know if I can get my character into that pose. Let's see if we can find a more simplified pose. Oh, this could be a good one. All right. So the problem is it's not like... Oh, okay, here we go. I like these. Miles Morales. He's got some cool poses. Maybe we'll try this one right here in the middle with his arms back and his feet kind of tucked. All right, let's do that one. I'm going to leave that there. So foot up. He's like straight to the camera. So if he's straight to the camera, oops. Let's go ahead and pull you up a little higher. I'm going to move this one up too because right, let's just work on this pose here. So arms straight out with a little bend up, this one up and that one down. So this leg will come up. And this leg will be down. Like that. And this arm will be out. And this arm will be out. And also his head, yeah, is tucked in deep into his shoulders. Oops. So we'll pull his head down. And we'll tuck it like this. There we go. It's a good Spider-Man pose. There we go. Let's look at that. All right, it's feeling, it feels a little too like springy right now, so our timing is a little off. We got to work on that timing. So he slides in, it's not snappy enough. And part of that could be because I have the dynamics on. You can see his hoodie like just flapping around like crazy. His hair is going nuts. His arms are kind of doing some weird stuff. So I want the slide down, maybe everything could speed up. So let's see if maybe it's as simple as just squishing everything together. Let's look. Oh yeah, that's looking better right there. Nice and fast. All right, so we'll have him slide in like that, and then he's going to jump over here and land. I don't know. The park bench would have been cool, but you know what? I'm not the best at masking out characters, and this bench isn't separated in layers. So I wouldn't know how to get him on the bench behind the back, but in front of the seat. I wouldn't know how to do that right now unless I separated the layers, which I don't want to do. For the sake of time, I just want to get through it. So I'm going to have him land on the ground. Maybe just in between the bench and the trash can. So he's going to jump off here. He goes into his pose. All right, let's keep playing around with some of these in-betweens. So right here, his head is doing something weird. And I guess it's because I made him do it. Or actually, there might be a dynamic on this one. Let's see if we can... What on earth? Huh. Did I move? What have I done? What have I done to you? Shouldn't this all be back here? I don't get... Oh, did I move that? There we go. Okay, cool. Hi from Indonesia. What's up, Amarit? So my progress with Moho so far is I've loved it. I've loved every second of it. there are some things that are really great with it. And there are some things that could use some improvement. And maybe those areas that need improvement are thanks guys. Thank you guys for even watching. Like, it's cool. But I'm still learning. I'm still learning Moho, right? It's like there's so much to learn in a program that you're never going to get within the first year or even the first couple of years. There's a lot in even After Effects that I haven't learned yet. And I've been using After Effects for like 12 years. So there's always room for improvement with your own skill level. And that's what I'm learning here is just because I can't do something in Moho yet doesn't mean it can't be done. But I've loved it. I love this program for animating characters. It's phenomenal. All right, let's have a look here. Oh, that's looking great. I'm loving it. So we've got this nice snappy animation. I feel like he needs to compress even more. Like, it gets the job done. It goes from A to B. But you don't feel that explosion into the pose. And that's what you really want to feel, is a contrast between one pose to the next. Yeah, this program is better for character animation. I want to specify that character animation, this program is better. Okay, so I'm going to keep squashing him down a bit. Let's have a look. So here he'll maybe really squash down. And now if you squash someone this much, you might want to do it pretty quick. So we'll only have him down like that for a second, or not even a second, just a few frames. So it comes here, boom. He should probably be expanding himself a little bit quicker here. So here's my scale. I'll go smooth. I'm going to pull these in maybe 2 frames. And then pull these in 2 frames. So right here, his head should be down, and then it should maybe come up a bit here because he's kind of reaching that apex of his movement. So we'll raise his head. Hands might need some work, so I'm just going to keep going with the body movement for now. That's the thing that's driving this animation, is our body movement. So let's keep it going. We'll keep it moving here. He's going to start his descent. So we got our ascent. Now let's work on our descent. And we want to keep it with nice arcs. You don't want the space between the 3 points of the ascent to the descent to be way off, because then it's going to look weird. So let's keep it moving nicely. Let's just see. There we go. So he's starting to come down. And he's really going to kick it into overdrive right here. And this is where he's going to fall through the air real fast. I'll have him land maybe right here. And if you look at the arc of it, it is off. So maybe I'll pull him in a bit. Now, one thing I don't know, and I really wish I knew this. See how these vertices, or not vertices, these points are kind of like skewed? You can see there's Bezier curves on them, but I can't seem to understand how I would adjust it. I wish, because like in After Effects, obviously you can change the way that they shape. In this one, I'm having trouble figuring out how you can adjust that. Is there a way to adjust that? Does anyone know? If you know how to adjust that, maybe maybe tell me, because I really wish we could fix that. So if he comes up and then all of a sudden, whoa, he shoots down. I like that. That looks good. Let's watch that. So he slides down, then he jumps. This one's fun. I'm already having fun, like right off in the first like 20 minutes of this thing. This is great. Cool. I think this is going to be a fun one. All right, we just got to figure out how to fix these curves here. For the time being, I'm just going to ignore it. So if he's coming up here and he starts his descent at this point, while he's making his descent, he's going to start to stretch out. Maybe in the third part of the playback column. Third part. Oh, you mean this one? I gotcha. Yeah, I know you can use that to change timing. Can you use it to change? Let's look. So right here is where I want it to change. Can we find? That'll be the position. Okay, here's our positions, but that looks like timing to me. Or not timing. Yes, you can change. Oh, you know what? Oh, here, let's zoom in. Yeah, if you look at that red one, see how that red one? No, that red one curves right. Let me just see. Maybe if we go Bezier. Oh, it fixed it just by making it Bezier. You're right. Tandia. Is it Tandia? Tandia? Yep. You got it. Let's change this one to Bezier too. Now we can kind of manipulate. Oh, look at that. See it? Let's see. Is it it might be the red one we want to change. Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. Thank you. You nailed it. Let's see if we see any difference. It actually looked, I was surprised at how good it looked. You don't notice the squiggle in it. Oh, but that's much better. I feel like maybe it like snaps too quickly because he kind of holds it. Maybe if I pull this out just a little bit, boom. That's good. I want him to like really hold that midair pose just a little bit. I want to suspend reality. Okay. All right, so he comes up. All right, at this point, he is making his descent, so his body's going to kind of like, you know, elongate. He's starting to drop. So the arms will come up. The head will come up. This foot will move over. I don't know. What do we want to do? So this one was already up. I'll keep them up. I'll keep them in kind of the same position that they were in. This one was, yeah, it was up like this. All right, and this is where he's going to hit. So his legs will probably hit before that, maybe here. So stretch this foot out. Let me reset this one. And this foot will come straight down. So maybe about here. So the foot hits first. So it comes down. And right here it will snap straight. All right. And then this one will probably hit just a second or a frame later. So we'll move it down. We'll stomp it in place. Okay, so it's not bad. It does feel a little strange. What's going on? Feels like he's just kind of being moved out of the air. Doesn't feel like he's actually falling from his jump. Maybe it's because these are linear. Let's try. Oh, those are just the foot. Let's see if we can change these to smooth. Yeah, that feels a little better. Oh, because yeah, his jacket's going crazy. I know. I'm gonna have to turn those off. I had it looking really good for like subtle movements, because I feel like if you're gonna utilize the dynamics like this on fabric, you almost have to over exaggerate it just so you can see it when they move. But then when they actually do something big like this and you have it on, it's like, okay, that's too much. Yeah, it's I'm gonna have to turn it off. But actually, if you look at his little oh, I don't have them. His little tassels, those are working pretty good still. Okay, so what is going on? I feel like the trajectory is off. So either I have to make him not jump out as far in the beginning. I don't know. Let's just keep playing around with that. The arc is not perfect. So let's fix that. So what do we need to do? Maybe we pull this out more. And we pull this one out more. And then we pull this one in. Let's just, oh no, that doesn't look right. All right, well, maybe it's just, so right here, he's definitely going to expand. His body needs to super stretch. Right here, he's bracing for impact. Everything's going up. Where's your head? Here's your head coming up. We go body turn. I'll turn it. Maybe I'll turn it away from his landing. Let's just see how that works. All right, so that's going. That's all good. And then right here, he's going to squash in big time. Boom. All right. And then we can have, we'll have his body turn towards camera. Head will come down. Arms will come down. Okay. All right. So we're getting this going piece by piece. Piece by piece, this is coming together. So let's see. So he slides. And there's a weird little glitch that happens right here. What was that? It's like he's straight, and then all of a sudden he kind of like pops back. So what's doing that? Yeah, maybe. I think you're right. He'll probably what I'll have him do is have, well, maybe not that landing, but he'll do more like a Spider-Man pose when he hits. You're right on. Yeah, he needs to have some kind of epic, kind of land. Now let's see. I'll just keep working with these feet. Let's go like that. So the feet come. He jumps off the pole. That works pretty good. And when he hits, he needs to kind of like move into position. So where is this? So he's going to hit. That was weird. Wait, what am I? Oh, that's his foot. All right, let's go ahead and crouch this guy down really low. And then we'll move him middle and rotate him straight. Smooth that out. Maybe he'll rotate like this. All right. All right, let's get him into that iconic Spider-Man pose. So let's look at one really good. Is that it? All right. Let's say that this is the one. And let's see if we can get him into that kind of a pose. I don't know if my character can do that. Let's find out. So for him, the back foot's going to be over here. All the weight's going to be on this front leg. So what I'll do is I'll move him over this leg like that. This leg will come out here like this. The body will bend. That will bend. And we'll scrunch everything down. The body will be turned like this. Head will be turned like this. Okay. Whoops. So this arm will be back, and this arm will be down. So he's really hunched over in this central pose. Whoops. Okay. I don't think this quite looks like. Oh, his knee's down. That's what it is. Well, that's not the only thing wrong with this. So let's put this knee down. It's not in front of the foot. That's a big problem. What else? Then this torso is way down.
Yeah, nothing. I've got nothing going on this week.
All right. So this is looking strange. I have to figure out these in-between keyframes to get him into position right. So I'm going to start off with the keyframes that are driving the action. So that's the torso. So I'm going to start off with the torso. Let's get him to where he needs to be. Once I get that looking okay, then I'll start going down the line of the line of action to see, what follows next. Let me plant these feet too, because they need to hit hard where they are. And let me see. That's part of the problem. I'm going to switch that. And this one too. And this one. There we go. There we go. So this foot is planted. That's great. Boom. He rolls in. Okay. Now this foot needs a lot of work. So its position kind of changes. Boom. Now that looks good. So we're starting to get there. He's planting into the ground a lot better. There's a lot of stuff happening that doesn't look right. Let's come back to this guy. We'll go like that. Okay, and the body turn is snapping. It might be too much. So let's change that to smooth. Maybe I'll even put it over here like that. Let's see. Okay. Now let's just start going up the chain of command. That one's good. This one needs to be smooth. And they're going to hit around here. So maybe... It still needs... Oh, that's one of the problems too. Is he needs to be open right here. And right now he's really curled in. Whoops. So we'll smooth it out. All right. This body is doing some kind of funky stuff. Okay, I need to establish... Okay, this was at frame 49. This is where the impact happens. So I want to make sure that everything that follows is on frame 49. Otherwise, it's going to start to look a little strange. Just want to clean up that timing. Smooth it out. Body turns good. Okay. Now let's check out these arms. So right here, what do we got? This arm will still be up. And that will be out. Looking good. Okay, what is happening? Let's smooth this one. I'm going to grab this guy, smooth it out. Okay. So I feel like we need, whoops, right here we need to extend this one up, and then it's going to hit. Okay. So let's see if we've cleaned up those keyframes. Have we polished it enough? Cool. I mean, that looks clean. The timing of it's not great. I feel like he kind of just floats into it. It's not snappy enough. So although everything looks good, it's functional, I want it to be a little bit quicker when he hits. So let's see if we can just simply just crunch in those keyframes a bit. So we'll find all the movements that make up this drop here. And I'm just going to pull them in a bit. Until the timing feels right. And I like that. That looks so much better. All right, so we've got this timing that it's not real. It's like a hyper real with the gravity. So it just kind of gives a little bit more weight to it. All right, that's cool. I'm going to work with this camera a bit too as we go. So as he comes down, let's grab the camera. I want to pull the camera down. Okay, so he slides into position. Maybe I will even follow him up here. This is his jump. This might be too much, so I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not. But let's see. And then he's going to hit here. And we're trying to keep him in the center of the frame. And let's just look at these camera movements. I'll tell you right now, I don't like it. But let's see if we can work with it. Let's see if we can fix it a bit. Okay, that's better now that it's smooth. Okay, I think the camera's moving a little fast, so I'm gonna, let's see here. So it comes up, follows him a bit. Let's see if we delete one. All right, sure, I'm gonna keep that. That's fine. What is this? Layer transition. What is this for? All right, so we've got this first half getting close to done. I'm going to add maybe a little bit of some like secondary and overlapping actions. just to feel like, you know, his weight is really bouncing here. I'm just going to just point it out. Some of my limitations right now, and they've been this way since I've designed this rig, is the arms are FK. I don't have an IK set up yet. There's ways you can do it to where you can switch between the two and it works perfectly. That's great. I just haven't done it yet. And I'm kind of dreading the day that I have to do it because I have all these rigs that are just FK. And I'm going to have to go back through and set them up to be IK. So things like planting his hands on the ground are not an option for me at the moment. So I'm just going to kind of like, I'm going to have to work around it. We'll put it that way. But for the time being, let's go ahead and animate some of this secondary actions. So secondary actions are essentially things that follow the main action. So if you have a body that comes to a stop abruptly, secondary action would be the head bouncing along with it. And what secondary actions do is they give a great sense of weight. So if you want something to feel really weighty, have some good secondary actions. So as his body hits here, his body is actually going to have a little bit of a bounce to it. So he'll maybe come up just a little bit here. So he's going to bounce down and then up. Kind of feel like I shouldn't have animated the camera just yet because now I can't see what I'm doing. Oh well, that is just how I run my life. Jump the gun. So it comes up. All right. Oh, you know what? You can turn off the cameras. Look at that. Wait, can you? Can you turn it off or is it just... Yeah, you turn it off. Perfect. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so let's look at what he's doing. So he's coming down. His body's going to bounce up and come down a bit. But when that happens, we also have to animate maybe the rotation of his torso a bit. So if he hits here, torso will continue down. Neck will continue down. Head will come down like this, continue. Maybe even go forward a bit. Then, oh, that happens quick. Boom. Maybe here it will start to expand up. Head will come up. And then here it will settle in very slightly. And then we'll put head down. All right, we got a great bounce here. The question is, does it look weighty or does it just look like Jello? I don't want it to look like Jello. So what we're gonna do is maybe we'll pull out the movement here, which is the bounce. We'll extend it. Maybe that'll give a little more weight to it. Okay. I think that's looking a little bit better. So these poses are looking really strange. I think because here his head still needs to be up. I don't know why it's down. I think we can turn it this way a bit. Your body should be stretched. Your neck should be stretched. You haven't had your full impact yet. I feel like I am messing some stuff up, but it needs to happen. Whoops. All right, let's go back to this head up down thing. So got the head up here. That's good. Okay. That's looking pretty good. There's a lot of movement though. I don't know if I like it all. Might be a little too springy. I'm gonna see if I can pull it back a bit. I wonder, let me see. Arthur, you got a question. Do I have full creative control on the physics? Can you enable, disable? You do. Yeah, so the cool thing is, like, let's say here at this keyframe, I wanted to turn off the dynamics on the cloth or the hair or whatever. You can do that, and then it stops it. And then if you want to turn it back on in a couple keyframes, you can do that, and then it will pick up again. So yeah, you have control. It puts a little keyframe right here. So it's called Bone Dynamics. And you can see right here at the very beginning, I have it turn off. I wonder if I could do, let's say if I have it here, I wonder if I can paste this and turn it back on. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, so here they're off. And then when he hits, I turn them back on. So yeah, that's a really cool thing, is that you can have control over it. Wow, look at that. So you can see it doesn't work here because his body explodes. The new AE preview will be GPU rendered. So are you saying that it's going to be a much quicker playback time? Because that is one of the things that absolutely ruins After Effects for me, is that if I had anything close to what I have here, I wouldn't even be able to push play. I'd have to, obviously you'd have to do your RAM preview, and then you could watch it. Yeah, if they do that, wonderful. Great step in the right direction. If it really does improve the speed, call me. Let me know. I'm all for it. All right, I'm gonna say that's fine. if I want to polish it up later, I'll polish it up later. You can see his hands are doing some crazy stuff too. Maybe I'll turn off the dynamics on his hands. Let's see here. Let's turn that off. Let's turn this one off. Cool. All right. I'm liking this, kinda. Feels more solid with those dynamics off the hand. Oh, cool. It's already in the beta version. I mean, that's wonderful. I don't know if maybe my GPU just was like not up to par. It is kind of old. So yeah, maybe a lot of my own frustration was just the rig that I'm using. Okay, so something's going on here with this hand. Why does it twist around like that? That's not what I want. What's going on? Let me see. Is it okay? I wonder if the bone. Show the bones. Does that need to be flipped? Oh, why is he wanted? That's funny. I didn't even. Yeah, he's So this scene in this character, all of this stuff is part of a story that I'm working on. I don't want to like give away anything. I don't want to spoil anything for myself, at least. So we'll just say that in the story that I'm working on, he is wanted, and they have this very unflattering picture of him. No one knows who he is yet. There's still this kind of mystery around him. But yeah, essentially he's wanted for taking a few things that don't belong to him. And a company that is interested in this wants to know why he's taking this mysterious thing. Anyway, that's about as much as I can offer right now in substance as to why he's wanted. But later, we'll figure out. We'll figure out why he's wanted. All right. Man, I don't want to have to fix that wrist. Why is it all twisted? And the hands are spun around. Are the hands spinning too? Oh, you know what? Maybe what I have to do. Let's bring up those dynamics again. Let's turn off. There we go. That's what it is. Off. Off. Cool. All right, let's see if that still works. All right, so that stiffens him up, which is cool. That's kind of what I wanted. I'll have to go in and Let me fix this knee here. The position of the knee is making it really like flop around because his torso comes down to where his heel is, which is making his knee like pop all around. So either I can adjust where his body goes, or I can adjust his foot. Maybe if I just pull his foot out a bit, that'll help. So let's put his foot someplace that it's not going to be so close to his body. Oh, that doesn't work. I'll just pick his knee up. All right. Let's add some overlap in the hand. Maybe we should overlap the arm too. So right here, this will come down, down. We'll go up, up, and then we'll settle it down just a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and smooth all this out, and let's see if that looks any better. All right. Nope. It's not quite hitting right. Okay. Let's pull this over. All right, let's offset this one a bit. And then the hand pops up a little too high. So it comes in here. Right here, this one goes too high. All right, that looks better. Okay, cool. So we've got this going on. Now I got to get him to jump into that trash can. So I'm just going to kind of blow through some of this. That way I can polish it up on my end later. What's going on here? All right, let's put him in that trash can now. How is he going to get in there? He'll need to, before he jumps in, he'll need to kind of look over at it, right? See where he's going. Then, do we need to have him... Let me turn off these physics on his shirt here. That is just too much. I'm sorry I've made you guys watch that so many times. Okay. Now I need him to get into that trash can. I've said this just so many times. So right here, we're going to have him maybe begin to close his eyes. Right here, he's going to blink. Head will stay where it's at. Let me see. Head turn here. And at this point, I need him to be looking over there at the trash can. Okay. And another thing we're going to do, I'll change this tilt on his mouth. So it comes down, it's going to look. His eyes will probably come up and maybe center out at this trash can a bit more. All right. Now let's get him into the trash can. So we just have him jump in, maybe dive in, swan dive. Let's try to make it quick because I've been doing this for like almost 2 hours now, hour and a half. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Am I still audible? Okay, cool. Maybe we'll have him. Maybe we'll have him quickly slide behind the trash can, and then he'll pop up and then jump in. Maybe. For that move, though, I'm going to need to turn on these cameras again, because I gotta see what we can do. I don't know if we can actually get him behind this trash can properly. Let's just see. So let's see if we can frame this trash can center. That doesn't look right. Why are you flat? Is it flat? It just seems like the foreground and the midground are too close to each other. I gotta get this trash can into the middle of the frame or it's not gonna work. It'd have to be like that, and I don't know if that's gonna look right. I guess that looks okay. Let's see here. No, that doesn't. I don't like this. I don't like it. Oh, maybe let's try this because I can push this one back. And maybe that'll help. Okay. And then let's take this foreground. Put these over here again. So he jumps, he lands. Now I got to get him. I'm sorry, not him. I got to get this trash can. Sorry, I'm struggling with this thing. I'll get it though. We'll get it. So if we move it like this, he's going to slide behind this trash can. So maybe what we do is we just have him slide. No, we can't do that. There we go. That looks good. Pull this to the middle. Okay, cool. And this is where he's going to pop up. So maybe what we do is when he slides behind the trash can, we'll move the camera over just a little bit, like this, to see that's where he goes. And then what we do, so he lands, slides behind the trash can, and then we do a cut to a close-up of the trash can. And this is where he will pop up behind it and then jump in. I think that'll work. So he slides down, hops off, slips behind the trash can, looks in, and then he jumps out. Hello, Emilio. Things are going good. We're having fun. We're animating a Spider-Man inspired action. All right, so we're going to have our character kind of slide behind the trash can, and then he's going to slide up. So right here, here's the landing. He looks. I'm going to have him move really quick. I'm talking like a few keyframes. Okay. So I'm going to add a keyframe here for his whole body. I'll smooth all that out. And then right here, he's going to just very quickly move. So how would he get there from this pose? That's the question. Let's just start moving him, and we'll see kind of what he does. Along with what looks right for him. Okay, that's looking all right, I guess. Let's fix this knee. His knee will come up here like this. I'm sure his body will start to turn toward the trash can. Let me reset these. Okay. Here we go. He's starting to move. Getting there. Let's move this knee up a little bit more. Okay. I like that pose. It's looking good. Let's see if the shift in body weight. Yeah, that looks good. So he would, instead of it coming up and around like that, he would probably crouch down and then go into an up position. So let's see if we can get some more of this overlap in here. So the body would scrunch down. This would come down. Torso would come in. This would come down. Neck would come down. Head would, I don't know, maybe do that. Oops. Uh-oh. I got the timing of that wrong. All right, here we go. Oh, that's looking good. So he starts to move through it. We lose this knee for some reason. Why is this knee popping over here? Oh, wait, that's not the knee. Oh, it's because it comes all the way up there? That's weird. All right, this is going to happen so fast that let's just say that looks good. And right here, I'll have him extend behind it. Full on, just full leap coming in. That goes there. This foot will come up. Let's put this back and reset. I'll reset that, and then maybe this knee will come up. I don't know. Just doing some crazy stuff. Let's keep that there. Maybe this looks... Head will stay down. That looks good. All right. So he's leaping in. This foot will need to start moving here. Okay. All right, and then this body, I'm just going to put it into position. I'm going to get him set up, almost ready for the next frame. It's going to happen quick. All right, and then this foot will be here and there, and then this foot will be here. Let's see if that's too fast. Okay. It's not bad. I just have to fix this foot here. All right. Let's have a look-see. Does this foot need to come with it? Thumbnail for this stream is very, we need to talk. That's what you get on a Monday morning. Yeah, this is not the chipper Jared that we all love. This is Monday morning Jared. All right, I'm just going to play this and see Does it work right? It's definitely fast. I didn't mean to scare anybody. I'm sorry if I did. All right, cool. That gets him into position. I think that is working fine. The keyframes are not great. They're good enough. They are good enough for what we're trying to accomplish. Just get him behind it so that at this point, we can have him come up. So right here, he'll do a slow pull. Maybe like that. Eyes will be centered out, looking down at the trash can. Maybe we'll make him have a smile or something. I don't know why. Why would he be smiling? But let's give him a smile. Since my thumbnail was so scary, we'll make him happy. There we go. Happy, happy. First time catching a live stream. Huge fan. Thank you so much. Whether Moho or A, he is phenomenal. Looking forward to following along. Well, thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. I do. I really do. And I think your actual character animation skills were the Moho. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. AE, After Effects was fun. Had some good times. Really did. But it's time to move on. And really all I'm trying to understand with Moho is like, can it make me a better animator? And does it improve my workflow? And right now, yeah, it does. Both of those. So let's... All right, let's see this thing that we got. So he scoops behind there. He's going to pop up. All right, so he pops up behind this thing. I like it. I like the pacing. I like the flow. I like the way everything's going. I got to get through this quick, though. I'm going to be going to lunch in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So let's just get him in there, okay? All right. So let's smooth this out. So he's just going to pop in, pop up. Let's make him a little more smiley, because right now he doesn't look smiley, does he? He looks kind of like a little apprehensive. That could be his eyebrows, could be the position of his mouth, could be a lot of things. Let's open up his eyes a bit more. And then this means I can lower them like that a bit. Okay, let's open his mouth maybe a little. maybe not too happy. He's looking at a trash can. All right, I'm going to center his body out. There we go. Okay, so we've got this. Now the question is, how is he going to jump into this trash can? I'm thinking, does he need to? Yeah, I guess he does need to. I mean, he doesn't need to jump in the trash can. The problem is the way that I would love to have him go into the trash can, I can't do it with this rig. And so we're stuck with our limitations again. Like, what can we do to make this believable, but do it within the confines of the limitations we have? Because I'd love to have him go head first in, and you'd see like his back and his butt, and he's trying to, like, maybe his feet are wiggling. I just can't get that with the way this rig is set up at the moment. So we have to come up with plan B. And maybe we just have him jump straight in, almost do the same like Spider-Man pose up, and then that's not very original. I don't like that. So what can we do, guys? Any suggestions? Oh, here we go. I know you're tight on time with work, but just looking at what you're doing with this rig, it would pay for Moho rigging tutorial. Oh, yeah. Or if you could point to any resources that helped you figure it out. Yes. I know one day a tutorial is going to have to happen. But here, I'll tell you the good news. The good news is there are rigging tutorials out there for Moho that are exceptional. So, for instance, Moho has their own channel full of these great tutorials, and they walk you through like the basics of each step. I would say check that out. If you want to see what Moho is capable of, check that out. Because they have some really cool... They've broken it down into a way that's easily digestible. So once you get your rig and you go, well, I want my character to do like, X, Y, and Z. On their YouTube page, they have step-by-step guidelines for you to figure out what you want it to do. They don't take you to like this advanced level. They give you the basics. There's a couple other people that are doing advanced. So like, for instance, Buck McCoy, or is it McCoy? Buck McCoy. He's got some great tutorials on YouTube. Go check him out. Sorry if I got your name switched around. Both names are awesome. I just can't remember which one's first. McCoy? It's McCoy. Yes. So he's got some good stuff. There's another one. Oh, what was her name? It's like MU033, something like that. She has some really great tutorials on YouTube. She goes into some advanced stuff. I want to say hers, some of them are in Korean, but you get the gist. If you just follow along, Some of them she has English, which is great. Anyway, that stuff works really well. How about a handstand? And he slides it. Let's see. So he would. How could he do a handstand? Let's see. If he was to do a handstand into it. Sorry, I'm kind of looking at this too. I'm like, I feel like he's a little too off frame. Like, it doesn't feel like he's jumping out. It feels like he's kind of just like someone sliding him off frame. So I'm wondering, how do we fix that? And I feel like he's got to take a step with this foot first. Man. Yeah, Mo U33. That's what it is. Thank you. Model Man? I haven't heard of Model Man. Model Man. Yeah, I'll have to check his stuff out. Yeah, there are some really great things out there. I will say there's not enough. There's not enough stuff on Moho that, in my opinion, explains it professionally to where, like, After Effects has a plethora of stuff on YouTube you can watch. Like, everybody's a great After Effects animator. And there's so many useful tutorials out there because After Effects is a huge program with a lot of people using it. Moho's not at that level yet with the tutorials. There's a lot of tutorials, but some of them take you down kind of like a dead end road where you're like, well, you didn't really explain what I thought you were, but there are a few. There are a few. Let's see, if we move this foot here first, let's see. Or actually, oh man, I'm going to start throwing off my workflow, my groove. Let me just see if I can fix this a little bit. He is very limber. If you didn't realize how limber he was, I mean, look at that. All right, this knee is doing some crazy stuff. Okay, it's not the knee. It's what's going on with this foot. What's going on with this foot? Huh? So we'll put that back to 0. All right, so we have a step right here. Cool. Looking good. I feel like this needs to come up like that. This guy is doing the splits to get behind the trash can. Man, I wish I was that limber. All right, then this foot will maybe come up like this. Oops. Okay, that looks better. Like a little hop. Okay, cool. All right, back to it. Sorry. What are we doing? So he pops up. That looks good. Jumps down. He does his little hop out. He sees what's inside. And then we had from Arthur a handstand. How about a handstand? And then he slides in. That'd be pretty challenging to get him into a handstand. Man. I really wish we could just stop it right here, but I committed to this jumping into the trash can thing. Really wish I could just put his torso in and have his back out with his feet hanging out. That would look so much better, but that wouldn't put a nice pin in it. It wouldn't put a bow on top. Because then once he comes in, then he'd have to come out and you'd have to see what he was grabbing. And the story would keep going. I want to finish it. Boom. So how do we stop it? He's got to jump in, right? All right. I'm just going to start moving him. Oh, but the bummer. Okay. Never mind. I'm going to start moving him. Here we go. Let's get him to jump in. So he comes up here. He's looking in. And I guess what would be funny, but this would like add another step and a whole new process to it that I don't know if I have time for, is if he was behind the trash can and he slid to the side of it and he got into like a diving pose. So now he's standing like this. He goes, boom, and he dives in. That would probably be the best way to use your silhouettes and make the appeal of it look nice. Oh, just don't have enough time for that. So his hand would just grab the trash can, and he uses the momentum to shoot the rest of his body into the air. I gotcha. I was thinking the same thing, and that I love that idea. The one of the big problems I have though is this character doesn't have IK in his arms, so that means that once I put his hand on the trash can, if I move his body, the pommel horse, yeah. So if I move his body, his arm will move with it. And unfortunately, I really wish we could like have him pivot himself around and then in. But it would take, it wouldn't take a lot of work to counter animate for that, but his arm would be like jumping all over the place, which is a bummer. But let's try it. You know what? Let's try it. I'm going to see what we can do. Maybe we can get creative with the way that he does this. Maybe he doesn't even slide up. Maybe he just Maybe we'll have him hop up and then go in. Let's do that. Because I feel like this sliding up into position is, it's going to take away from the impact of him coming into frame. So here we go. Real quick. Let's do this. Smooth. I want him to explode into his pose, hold it, and then go in. Okay? So let's see how that looks. So if I put him into his pose really quick, maybe that'll solve our IKFK problem. So the arms will come out right here. They'll hold the trash can. Oh. Let's reset those positions. Oops. All right, and then let's get this other leg, whoops, into position. Let's see. All right. So we have one leg in front of this arm and this leg behind that arm, which is fine. I think we'll figure it out. Let's just figure it out. I'll figure out animation first and then worry about that stuff later. Okay. All right, so while he's coming up, his hands are going to hit first. And this is where, unfortunately, the counter animating comes into play. So his arms will hit here, boom, and then they need to stretch out into position. And his body will maybe keep coming up a little bit. Maybe we can scale down his torso. That's not too bad. The neck will come up here. Let's make sure it's still down there. Head down and then up. All right. And I think his legs need to kind of snap into place. Let's go ahead and we'll that one needs to come up there. There we go. Oops. Okay. At this point, he needs to be looking a lot happier for some reason. Put that down. Let's make his mouth more open, wider, and happy. Okay. I don't know if this is working. Does this just look stupid or what? Oh, man. So he's going to come up. Maybe these legs are just too far out. Oh, what happened here? How did that move? That one shouldn't have moved. All right. Well, let's just see if maybe... Wait a second. Why am I doing this? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's because they're like overlapping. All right. You need to be reset. All right. Maybe I will keep his legs a little tighter in here. All right. Not a huge fan of what's going on with these legs. So I don't know. I just don't know. So this brings me to two dilemmas I have. And the question is, have I ever done this before? Maybe. The question is, I think it could work if the momentum keeps him moving upward, and at the apex he pulls his knees up to his chest, almost like a cannonball. Yeah. Ooh, I kind of like the idea of a cannonball. Instead of him like holding on to this, what if he just jumps up and does cannonball? I mean, that solves a couple issues we have. And I think it's funnier if he just does a cannonball into a trash can. I love it. Let's just have him do a cannonball. So he's just going to straight up just jump up. Oops. Cannonball! It's like that scene from Anchorman. All right, so he'll pop up into this one. Feet will come up like so. There we go. Arms will come around. Now this does bring up a layering issue. The question is, how can I fix some of these issues, like putting his forearms in front of, all right, I guess it's just this one. I'll deal with that stuff later. Oops. So it comes around. That's kind of cool. So he like jumps in. It looks like he's wrapping his arms around his legs to pull it in tight. Let him keep coming up. Oh gosh, why do I keep doing this with, I'm animating the wrong foot. Oh. Okay. Let's do this. Pull this one up. Okay. Smooth. Okay. Rotate that up. Oops. And out. Up. And out. Smooth it up. Cool. So we're going to jump. I love it. So it comes up. And it's going to start to drop right here. Okay, and I guess his torso could expand. His neck will come up. His head will start to move up too, because he's dropping. Let's go ahead and smooth all these out. Brace for the unimaginable, hoping he fits into the trash can. How do you deal with the order of the artwork? Yeah, that's a tough one. There's things that I wish I had a better grasp on in this program, and layering the artwork is one of them. I know there's a way to kind of do some of this stuff that I am not proficient in. I'll pull this down a bit. So it comes up, and he's coming down. Now I'm going to animate him falling through this, just because I got to figure out how he's going to actually be masked out by it. I'm going to pull him really nicely through it. So that will come this way. There we go. There we go. And on this one, the head can be up. The neck can be expanded. The body will be expanded, or stretched, I should say. All right, and we'll smooth it out. All right, all in all, let's have a look. Okay, so this needs to speed up. Cool. Not too bad. I got to figure out this layering order. Okay, I don't know if I can just easily come in here and fix this. So I know for a fact that the right upper arm, which is this one, needs to go behind the legs. But if I move it, can I move it? I can't move it. But if I come to the beginning and I find this layer here, what am I on? Why aren't you showing up? No, not light rays. On this character. Oh, there we go. Now, if I take this right arm, knowing it needs to go behind the legs, can I just simply move it behind the legs? And does it work? Or does it just completely mess me up? Let's come to this frame here. Okay, so that kind of worked. You can see it goes behind the legs, which is what you wanted, or what I wanted. But I think it messes me up in some of these. Yeah, messes me up here. So that is not a fix. Man, honestly, I don't know. Other than rigging the character to have these switches to turn on and off the limbs, I don't know if there's a way to fix that easily. Well, for now, let's animate this camera. So it comes up. smooth this out, and I don't know, guys. Maybe that doesn't look good. Let's see. Can you duplicate some layers and place the duplicate layers on top, and then be able to visibly change layers needed? That could be an option. Let me see if we can do that. So if I duplicate this layer here, so this is my right upper arm, and then I go duplicate layer, then I pull it behind the whole body. Then what I might be able to do is right here before the cannonball, let's see if we can just turn visibility off at this point. And does it make a keyframe? Yeah. Arthur, you genius. I mean, I have a feeling this isn't, it's not like a great way to do it, but it will do the job for now. Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Arthur. Blown away how little fussing there is with the keyframes and easing. Oh, dude. Keyframes in this, I don't know what they did, but they're amazing. Somehow it's just so simple. Like, if you want to move the character in this little section here, just move it. And there's no like, oh man, the way that they interpolate smooth and they keep it clean. It's like if you have two keyframes in After Effects and you put a third one in here, the way that it interpolates that third keyframe, you can see it. You see the hitch to it in and out. And then if you want to get rid of that kind of movement, you have to go into the graph editor and smooth it out. With this one, you don't need to do that. It is really amazing. All right. Perfect. So now I got to do that with the other arm. So let's see here. I think I got to, let me drop this down and this down. Okay, that works. So let me find this arm. We'll duplicate it. This is the left arm. Duplicate. Put it behind the body. Then we'll come back to the left upper arm. And then right here, when my cannonball hits, I'll turn it off. When do I turn it? I must turn it off like right here. Okay, yeah. Let's turn off visibility, hit OK, and let's just see. Oh, but that forearm is now below. Why did that happen? left lower arm. That's this one. You should be in front of the torso. I wonder if that's because of, is my body rotation off? All right, let's hit T. There we go. Let's smooth that out. Okay, and I'm going to just ever so slightly squeeze these arms in just to make it look like he is holding himself, and then the legs kind of open up at this point. So then we'll maybe drop this stuff around a bit. All right, let's just do a little watch, a little preview, see what's going on. Okay. So that's fine, I guess. It does the trick, gets the job done. I feel like those legs should be in front of the chest, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then the arm pops out here for some reason. I don't know why that's happening. You can see this forearm goes behind the leg. I don't get it. Nope. All right. Let's see. Is there anything I want to do? I do want to add some stretch to it. So let's stretch out this body. I really want to stretch out the neck. Oh, and it breaks. I'm going to really stretch that out here. So hits there, holds here. Okay. All right, cool. It's kind of breaking the rig a bit, but that's all right. I'm not worried. As long as we get the feeling of it looking right. And then next what we have to do, oh, it kind of holds here weird. Did I do something? So it goes up. Does it hold there? Let's see. Let's just play it. Okay. Not too bad. So it kind of jumps up here, holds this cannonball pose, and then boom, drops out. What we need to do is hopefully we can change the layer of this as he goes, or you know what? Let's do the visibility trick. Here we go. I'm going to duplicate, put this one behind the character, and then right here, visibility goes bye-bye. So now he should be in front of the trash can. So here he's behind it, and then here he is in front of it. But now the big question is, how do I mask out this character from the trash can? Something you can do. Whoops. Man. Oh, you know, okay. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to duplicate. This might be over complicated things. I'm going to duplicate this one in front of him again. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. I don't know. And then I'm going to see if I can crop out this layer. Just like that. And does that do the trick? So what's happening here? Okay, boom. That's good enough. Oh, whew, what happened? Hold up. So he goes behind it, and then he jumps in. But what is happening to this layer? Did I do something? Because it looks like it's messing up, but maybe it's not. Huh. All right, well, that's good enough. It's lunchtime for me. We did it. Maybe some trash can come flying out. We could maybe add a few sound effects. But other than that, that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for your suggestions. As always, I have so much fun doing these. I love how it turned out. I think it's great. We got him sliding down, little Spider-Man action, and then the cannonball, boom. Clutch. I could take a little time to polish this up, maybe clean up some of my arcs and timing and all that, but all in all, this is not that bad for 2 hours of work. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for participating, commenting, asking questions. I love it. That's why we're here. Let's build a little community. And if you've made it this far, thank you for your support. Thank you for your eyeballs on what we're doing. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking. And I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you guys later. Am I? Oh, there I am. Okay, I was black. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week, Monday, 9 a.m., whatever time it is where you are. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.